thoughts are not limited by space, just like sight is not limited except by objects. Meaning you could see, there's no limit to how far you can see, especially if something is giving off light. We can see stars that are quite far away, and if the conditions are right, we can just see this amazing distance, and if we have the right instruments, we can see farther still. That's the way that thought is if it's not obscured by spiritual things. And there's this correspondence between sight and thought, that sight is a physical analog to the process of thought. They work together. This is Heaven and Hell 196. We can illustrate this by our own thoughts, which are also devoid of space, for whatever we focus on intently in our thought is seemingly present. Then, too, anyone who reflects on it realizes that our eyesight registers space only through the intermediate objects on earth that we see at the same time, or from our knowing from experience that things are a certain distance away. This is because we're dealing with a continuum, and in a continuum there is no apparent distance except by means of discontinuities. This is even more the case for angels because their sight acts in unison with their thought, and their thought in unison with their affection, and also because things seem near or remote and things change in response to the states of their deeper natures. So we can pick up on this phenomenon a bit by looking at physical analogs to it. For example, let's say we wanted to look up into the universe like I was just talking about. We'd have to be aware of the seeing conditions. If you're an astronomer, you use various terms to describe how easily can you see out into space, what obstructions are there. And let's say that we were going to pull out our telescopes. What kind of things do we have to watch for? We have all kinds of things that can affect vision, especially when you're doing it with the kind of precision you need to look out into space. How much light pollution is there? How close are you to a city? Is there dust in the air? Are there clouds, air currents, temperature, weather fronts? All this stuff is physically important if we're going to see out into the heavens. And on a spiritual level, if we're going to think about these heavenly concepts or understand these deeper truths about life, this spiritual stuff that we're looking up towards, we have to be aware of our earthly thoughts and earthly emotions, as well as our moods, our beliefs, the truths that we do understand and apply, and our affections. All these form sort of our spiritual seeing conditions, if you will. And Swedenborg talks about this further in this little clip we're going to play for you now.
Those who have the light of wisdom in their intellects are like people standing on a mountain in the middle of the day, clearly seeing everything below. Those who have an even higher light are like people with telescopes who can see things off in the distance or far below as if they were close at hand. Those, however, who have defended falsities and are therefore in the faint, deceptive light of hell, are like people on the same mountain at night, with oil lamps in their hands, who can see only what is nearby, and even then can barely make out vague shapes or tell colors apart.
So it's not even just how well you can see, it's where you're looking from. What's in your mind vastly changes where you are in the spiritual world. And it can inhibit your ability to move and to understand.